With over 40 homicides for the year in Baltimore, Democratic lawmakers in Annapolis are proposing a bill to prevent charging anyone under 25 with felony murder, which happens when someone is killed during a felony crime like robbery.
This undermines the principles of our criminal justice system by severely penalizing people for crimes that they did not commit nor intend to commit.
House Bill 1180, the Youth Accountability and Safety Act, is sponsored by Delegate Charlotte Crutchfield of Montgomery County. Supporters of the bill say the brain is not fully developed until the age of 25, therefore current law is unfair.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which is a bill that's currently floating around the Maryland state government that, if it becomes law, would prevent anyone under the age of 25 from being charged with felony murder, because apparently your brain's not all the way developed and you don't know what you're doing. So before I get into how absurd that is, let's talk about what felony murder is. Let's just say you and a few of your friends, a few of your gang member homies or whatever's going on, y'all go to a grocery store and rob it, and one of the other guys kills the clerk behind the counter. Everyone there will be charged with felony murder because you guys were robbing the store. Okay, armed robbery, battery, whatever it is, felony charges, and somebody was killed in the commission of the felony. That's felony murder. For that, you're talking about 15, 20, 25 with the L, very long prison sentence. But the view of some Democrats in Maryland is that your brain's not all the way developed yet, so you shouldn't be charged with felony murder. Newsflash, a lot of these guys, by the time they get to be 25, are already veteran criminals. They done already been locked up, juvenile, state prison, federal prison, lengthy rap sheet, 50, 70, 100 plus arrests for drugs, guns, home invasion, carjacking, kidnapping, all kind of stuff, actual trafficking, all that, by the time they get to be 25. So we're talking about their brains not all the way developed yet. How does that make any sense? It's ridiculous. And let's talk about this part. So at age 25, you're not really understanding what's going on. You don't know any better. Okay, your brain's not developed, but you could be 5 years old and say that you're transgender. You could be 12 years old, Dwayne Wade, and have your child say that they're transgender, and they get on hormone blockers and puberty blockers. You could get quote unquote top surgery, quote unquote bottom surgery, and that's okay. You can't get a tattoo under the age of 18, but you could change your gender. It's so dumb. We move the goalposts whenever it's convenient. Well, not we, not us, not you guys that are watching. I'm talking about those on the left, mostly hypocritical politicians. They do this kind of stuff. They move the goalposts whenever it's convenient. If you're a 25-year-old seasoned gang affiliate who has a 100 arrests, you're not developed enough mentally to understand what's going on. Therefore, you shouldn't be charged with felony murder, right? That's what they're saying. But if you're 8 years old, or if you're an infant and you goo-goo the wrong way, now you're transgender. You're making a lifelong decision at that age to become transgender. They got a whole reality show about you being underage, a teenager becoming transgender. They put you on advertising campaigns as a 14-year-old transgender. What are we talking about here? Now, to be clear, if you want to be trans or whatever you want to be over the age of 18, you're an adult. You should be able to do it. In that same breath, if you're over the age of 18, you should be charged as an adult, full stop. Full stop. Now, there can be a debate whether you 14, 15 and get charged as an adult for certain crimes. There shouldn't be a debate about you being charged as an adult when you're an adult. You should be treated as an adult when you get to be adulthood. And if we're not going to do that, then what is an adult really? But different story, I digress. There's an article here. I'll link to it in the box. I just want to read some of this to see if we have anything else that I've not spoken about so far. You see the headline: Maryland Democrats bill would block people under 25 from being charged with felony murder. And the subhead: Democrat-backed legislation becoming lightning rod as considered in state legislature. Now, if this passes, you're going to have a big time problem. This video right here from Giannis, pardon me, Y'all know Caldwell. This is him talking about soft on crime policies, which are really affecting the whole world. It's going to affect places like Chicago, where his brother, unfortunately, was shot and killed. May his brother rest in peace. Let's continue here. Maryland Democrats are pushing the bill in legislature, like I said. So the person, as you saw in the beginning, this is Democrat Delegate Charlotte Crutchfield, and she's in Moco, Montgomery County, Maryland. So you got a bunch of these DC influenced gangbangers out there in Moco committing crime, getting long stints in the penitentiary, which they should have. Okay, and the way that they make it seem is like all these kids from these quote unquote underprivileged areas are committing the crime. When in reality, it's the same guys that keep getting out over and over again and doing the same thing over and over again. Baltimore's a prime example. You got guys that were arrested during the Freddie Gray kerfuffle that had 80, 90, 100 plus arrests by the time they got to be 25 years old. How do you have that many arrests? It's because when you get arrested, you're going into the jail and right back out. And that same day or the next week or the next month, you get arrested again for the same offense. And then between the arrests, you're doing the same thing you had been doing before. You're just not getting caught. You're just not getting arrested. You're just not getting booked downtown. It's so simple, but I digress. So you can see some of the crimes here, you know, sexual assault, arson, robbery, burglary, carjacking. If a murder occurs in that situation, even if you didn't do it, you wouldn't be charged with felony murder. So arson, I don't understand. So if you go to a house and burn it up and then somebody dies, how do you not get charged with felony murder or just murder outright? I don't really understand. So you could get life, like I said, 25 with the L, no parole, etc. Because the term life could be like 25 years. That's why they say no parole, because you could get out earlier than that. But anyway, I digress. Here's a quote. If this bill passes, you're going to have kingpins. You're going to have gangs use juveniles to do their dirty work. Republican Delegate Susan McComas told Fox. And you know what? That's going on right now with the juveniles, because obviously if you're a juvenile, you get charged with lesser sentencing. You get charged with lesser crimes and you get lower sentencing than adults do. But now you're going to have just regular guys, because most of these people are not old. The guys on the street thugging and drugging, they're not my age, gray beards. You're talking about young men between the ages of 15 and 30 at the oldest. If you're 30 on the block, if you're 30 out there in the streets, then God's on your side, because by that time you probably would have already been dead. You would have already been dead or locked up for a very long time by that age. Really, a lot of these guys be getting killed when they're in their teens. So if you get to be 30 years old, I mean, good luck. If you ever seen The Wire, which is like a fiction show, which is based on reality, Baltimore, Maryland, Omar, the stick-up guy, he got popped when he was like 29. You see what I'm saying? He was living a very dangerous life, but eventually got killed by a random kid. All right. There's more in this article, but you know, all this is going to do is just create more crime. It's going to create more violence, because these guys in the street aren't rocket scientists, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that they are pretty much giving them a green light to do whatever they want to do. They're giving them a green light. It's like, all right, I could be under the age of 25 and I won't get felony murder. So if I go rob the store, maybe I get a robbery. I'm not going to get the full sentence. So you're more brazen and more bold to do certain things like that. And then you might have the juvenile be the trigger man. So if you go rob a store, you might give the juveniles the pistols because they'll get light sentences. And then the guys that were orchestrating the whole thing, the 22, 24, 25-year-olds won't get any time for the actual murder that they orchestrated. But as I close, I want to say this. I don't understand the purpose of bills like this. I don't really get it. How is this going to help the community? How? You got guys that know full well what they're doing, that have lengthy rap sheets already, who are violent, dangerous criminals that should get put away, that should get put to sleep, quite frankly, but they should get put away. They should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, but they're given slaps on the wrist and passes. Why? Tell me the actual purpose of this. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this bill? Is it going to help Maryland, like Baltimore, outside DC, etc.? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is a get out of jail free card. This is a soft on crime policy. It's not going to help anything. It's just not. It's very simple. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.